Say What You Said podcast back at it again with your boy TD.
Zae Way.
Coach Pete.
And we got a special guest today, our boy.
Carter.
What's happening? What's up, man? How you feeling
good,
today?
Man?
Doing good.
Yeah, feeling
What's
good?
yourself?
All right, pretty good, man. How y'all feeling today?
Pretty solid.
That's
I
what's
said
up.
Sweet Feet. I don't know why I said Coach Pete.
Sweet Feet.
You're so used to just saying
With
that.
Sweet Feet, man. His Sweet Feet. You see the shirt? That's his brand, you know. He probably so used to saying that you wanted to say your own name.
Yeah, facts.
Man. So today, man, we're just gonna dive in a little bit of how you feeling? How's your day going? Like,
Going good.
Yeah.
Slept in today.
Yeah.
Nice little Sunday. So
that's
finished
hey,
up.
man. That's what's up. Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
give us a little bit of background about yourself. I know you North Phoenix, from North
Yes,
Phoenix,
sir. Born and raised.
born and raised. Went to Shadow Mountain,
Yes, sir.
and then for 2 years, for the first two or last two.
First 2.
2 years, and then went to
Like a soccer academy school.
soccer academy. Okay,
like
that's
an
what's
hour
up.
away from here.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the second 2 years.
Okay, so for some people that don't know the soccer journey, kind of give us a little insight of like how you made it. Because for those that don't know, he went to Michigan, the University of Michigan for soccer. All right.
University.
Yeah, yeah. So
time.
yeah,
That's tough.
that's tough. Division I in soccer. I don't know how or what they look for. You know what I'm saying? So kind of give us a little insight of your journey and how you got there.
Yeah, really, like, I've been playing soccer my whole life, ever since I was, like, 3. My dad's a big soccer guy, so getting into that was, like, kind of a given, and I just stuck with it because I loved it, and then going to the academy also obviously helped a bunch. So the way, like, soccer works is you kind of got club, which is, like, your base level, who you're kind of playing with just when you're young. And then you want to go to, like, academy. That gets you more exposure. Those are kind of the more better players that are getting that direct link to college.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah.
So then you want to find an academy, and then once from there, you just got to do your thing, play well.
Yeah. And so, what position? What position you play?
So I play right back,
Okay.
a little bit of left back too. So
Mainly defensive.
Yeah, defensive.
Okay. Yeah. That's what's up. And then, so take us like college transition, from high school play to college play, and like that environment. Like, was there a big difference? You know what I'm saying? Because soccer is
definitely.
soccer is a world. Worldwide sport.
Global sport.
Yeah, I was like, in other countries, it's bigger in other countries. Obviously, the U.S. I think football is the most watched.
Yeah, American football.
Yeah, is the most watched in the U.S.
Mhm.
But like nationally in the world, soccer
Yeah,
obviously
most
being up
definitely.
there. You know what I'm saying?
By far, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
just-
take us through that environment and what.
Game.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely that transition from high school to college was real different. Just kind of the environment with the schooling and soccer, but plus more freedom. Like, the academy didn't have much to do. Kind of just stayed on the campus. It was like you and all your teammates. But once you got to college, it was really living on your own, doing all that kind of stuff. And then plus, the soccer side was real different.
Oh, that's just yeah.
Adapting to that is just everybody's more physical, faster, stronger.
Yeah.
So that makes it difficult. Plus, the rules were hard to get adapting to. For some reason, college rules are way different than professional soccer rules, even academy. So just really adapting to that was cool. And then the environment, too.
Yeah.
Like, I never really played in front of fans like that.
Yeah.
My first game probably had like 2,000 fans. And all that. It was a different experience.
That's what's up.
Wait,
Yeah.
so I'm kind of curious about the soccer academy. How does that work with like the age and do they just grab a whole bunch of ages and?
Yeah, so they grab a whole bunch of ages, and it goes, usually it's like U15 is like one team, then U17 and U19. So those are like the 3 base teams. Those are the only 3 they had at the academy that were academy teams. They had like club teams also, but the academy teams, it was like that. But there could be like somebody who's younger, like 15, 16, still playing with the U19s, like if they're good enough. So age doesn't really matter like that. You just can't be over.
Yeah.
And was this like an all boys type of?
Yeah, it's all boys.
Oh.
There was like, it was kind of mixed with my school, with the actual school there, but I think it was probably like five girls at my school, so it was basically.
Dang, I'm about to say. So how was that transition from going to?
Yeah.
You know,
it was real different. I would come home a lot, so it wasn't too bad. It was only an hour away, But for people who was coming from out of state, other countries and stuff, yeah, it was. I'm sure.
Because you're talking to nothing but dudes.
Yeah, no, most definitely. You're living with because I live down there, so you're in dorms with nothing but dudes.
Yeah, so it's almost like a college.
Yeah.
Oh,
like the
yeah.
academies.
But with not much freedom.
Okay.
But it's a cool environment just because you're there to play soccer and really there to get better, and you're
really
around other
focused.
people who are
Yeah, that's
who
fact.
want the same thing. So it's really an environment that will push you higher.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you're in the position now because of that.
Exactly. Yeah, most definitely.
What would you say would be the biggest skill set that a player would need to play your position? Like if somebody was young coming up, what is something that they would need to focus on to play your position at that level?
Fullback, kind of getting to that next level, like getting to college. You saying?
Yeah, like somebody playing your position with type of skill sets. and
Yeah,
stuff
for somebody younger, I say really, obviously, hard work is gonna go further than anything else. But skill wise, you just want to make sure technically you're not gonna be making any mistakes because you make a mistake at defense, that's gonna cost you a goal. So that's really important. And positioning. Positioning is the biggest thing for me. That was harder. It's definitely when I got to the next level. If your positioning isn't right, then even if your skill set is on, you're still gonna struggle, which I learned real quickly in college.
And what are like some of the factors that they're looking at? They like speed, agility, all that.
Yeah, most definitely. Like most soccer players know, like fullback position, you kind of need some speed because it's up and down. So you really just need a lot of fitness and speed.
Okay.
There are some without it, so you can kind of find your own ways, like everything. But you definitely want to be fast enough to kind of get up and down, but plus really defend, be locked down, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't really know soccer, so I have like a lot of questions. As far as soccer, does height really matter, or is it more of like skills?
Nah, there's a dude playing professional top league in England. He's like 5'3", my position.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's
Damn.
They range everything. If you nice, the best player in the world, Lionel Messi.
So they literally just go based off of
Messi's
skills.
nice.
That's tough.
He's
I'd rather play a sport like that if they just go based off of skill instead of height.
You don't know about Messi?
Oh yeah, I know Messi. Yeah.
Messi is the shortest. Like
He is?
short. It's like
Messi's
it's
short.
like your height. My height,
Damn.
your height. Yeah,
Oh, that's
fast as
tough.
heck though, and good with the
quick,
soccer
and
ball.
he's just so technical.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Smart too. You just gotta be smarter than everybody else. A lot of people don't think, but IQ is like, they call it soccer IQ, and it's just really making good decisions, like knowing what to do before and stuff like that is probably more important than skill set before anything.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And I know your position is kind of similar to playing DB for American football.
Exactly.
So some people who don't know soccer, like his position is like playing DB or playing corner, so he has to be very athletic.
Yeah,
that's
one
pretty
of the hardest positions on the field. Would you say?
I would say, because I grew up playing center mid, so midfield. I played some attack too before right back. I've only been playing right back for maybe 4 years now. So before that, I was a whole center mid, like new position. So changing to this one.
You like it better?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's more freedom. I can do more. Plus, I play better there, so that's always a plus.
Yeah, the atmosphere up at Michigan for your games and stuff, like how was that? Like,
it was cool.
Because being just for some people that don't know, like being at a big time school, like, is the atmosphere just like a football game or just like a basketball game? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it
not a football game or basketball game just because they pack those out and it's just like their arenas are like that. But our stadium was cool, and most games we would get. As long as it's like a weekend game, like a game when people ain't got school, we would really get a good environment out. We got a really good student section there, like the little supporter section.
Yeah.
They get loud, they got a drum, they got the smoke and everything, so it's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Yeah.
And I know soccer don't get, until you get to that professional level, they don't get the same audiences, like if, like you said, a football game or something.
Especially when we got our football team there, they get all the hype and stuff, so it's a little hard.
Yeah, because I even asked him, I was like, hey, so y'all got the Jordans? Because y'all sponsored.
Yeah.
They still Nike.
They're
like soccer's still Nike. I was like, yo,
it's
what?
only basketball and football.
Yeah.
They got the Jordans.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work on ours, but it's gonna be years till we get ours.
Yeah. So you grew up in a household with 2 other siblings, correct? Yeah. So did you kind of like picked up soccer from like your brothers or like?
I mean, yeah, both my brothers play soccer. But like I said, I started when I was like 2 or 3, so
Yeah.
I was really just
I'm about to say, damn.
since the beginning, just playing.
Yeah.
So we were all kind of doing it at the same time.
Right.
I kind of had a more natural like ability.
Right.
So I was kind of finding
You're
it
the
easy
middle
to-
child, right?
middle child.
Yeah.
Chosen one.
Yeah.
Exactly. So and then I ended up being the only one to stick with it.
Yeah. Your younger brother not doing it?
Nah, he not doing it. He was probably really the first to or at the youngest age to stop kind of like messing with soccer.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's
But
not
like
for
everything, yeah, it just wasn't for him.
Yeah. No, that's exactly that's what's up, man. So, you know,
How was
go
the transition from college going into professional? Like finding an agent, going to tryouts. Like how is it?
It was hard. So I was really doing a lot of stuff on my own. I was also talking with my coaches and all that when I was really making the decision. But yeah, the whole process was real hard because field with agents is a tough one because there's not really a lot of information in it. You can't really just go up and find an agent. It's not really a thing to go to an agency that kind of finds you.
Mm-hmm.
They seem like they're everywhere, but then when you really want to find one, they seem like they're hard to find. And also, you want to find the right fit, and you want to find somebody who's going to get stuff done for you. There's a lot of people who going to do a lot of talking, and then say they got opportunities, but not have opportunities. So it's really figuring out somebody who's going to really tell you that they're going to do something, and then they're going to back it up and do it. So like, yeah, it's definitely hard finding an agent, and it was hard. Yeah. So.
Yeah, soccer.
Any agents out there?
Yeah, for real. Soccer. Yeah, it's definitely different. Like how. So most of the time, like for agents, like how do they shop you differently? Because I know. Like, is it just like so? Your film is basically what speaks like most of the time.
Yeah. Film speaks. Just because they kind of the way they work is they're just that middleman between you and clubs because you don't know directly somebody like say an owner of a club or a coach of a club. So you don't know that person directly. The agent's job is basically they know all these dudes at clubs to be like, hey, I got this player. I'm gonna send you his film. Think he's really good. You think he'd be a good fit for your team.
Right.
They look at your film and then they decide if they want to bring you out for like a trial or something like that.
So is clubs like? Because I know for basketball, like playing travel ball and all that stuff, it's easier to get looked at. Is it the same thing for soccer?
Like I said,
compared to high school,
the academy.
Oh, the academy.
That's what really makes it a lot easier. I really preach academy, just because it's that next step.
But like for
club, you can still get looked at for sure, but it's definitely much harder.
So like so for the academy wise, was it more like expensive?
It's
because is it a
like
private? It's pretty much a private school, right?
They do scholarships.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dang, that's dope.
But yeah, without a scholarship, like some people without a scholarship is $70K. So it's like
for a high school.
So it depends. Yeah,
Academy.
All right, Cali, my daughter gonna have to get a scholarship.
Bro, yeah, that's 70, bro. Yeah. No, some of them prep academies and stuff without a scholarship, but they go crazy.
I'm gonna tell Callis you gotta get a scholarship.
IMG too. The one in like Florida, you heard of?
Oh yeah, IMG.
That one's like the.
IMG Academy. Yeah,
the same thing. Cause they offer.
They do
still,
it for football,
soccer,
baseball,
and they do prep. Like they do prep for pro.
I thought they just handpicked their athletes.
I actually had a couple.
Well, those are they do scholarship. IMG.
They don't, or they do?
I'm not too sure.
I had an athlete that IMG reached out to. They sent him an email, and they wanted him to come to IMG. And I was like, that's pretty dope. Yeah. I thought he didn't end up going, but it's pretty.
Probably because he had to pay.
Probably because of money.
Yeah.
Nah, I think it was off, like trying to give him a scholarship because he had 2 more years left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, most of the time, if they reach out to you, I was like, and they see, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll give you, all right, we can pay for you to come here because they want you to come here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So for some academies, if they want you there, just like college, it's the same thing. Like they literally try to prep them for the next
College,
level.
yeah.
Yeah, like they try to prep
That
them
thing
as
look
best
like
they
a
can.
college.
Yeah,
IMG
no,
Academy.
most
That don't
No, it does.
That's what I thought it was at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
College.
facilities and stuff. Man, what I'd give to have those type of facilities in high school.
Bruh.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I
mean-
can't complain. No, yeah, my facilities were nice.
I was about to say,
So
man,
we
that's
had,
yeah.
like the nicest fields, just like in a bunch of them. So we
Yeah.
just go out whenever, and just pass around, play.
Yeah.
And who's the academies out here? What is it called?
Barca Academy.
You said who?
Barca Academy.
Barca?
Like, yeah, it's an
Okay.
affiliate of like Barcelona, the one that Messi played for.
Oh, okay.
It's like the U.S.'s residence, like official residency here. They got one now in New York, but I don't think it's a residency. It's just like a team. So
Some good information. So is it a male and a female one?
I think they're just. I know they're planning to include women in it, but I'm not sure when. I know it's probably in the next couple of years.
Yeah, that's crazy because the U.S. women's team is like
Oh yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
really good, like top tier. Like almost every year they
Yeah.
winning or they compete for the championship.
Only had that one. What's it called that one World Cup where like the U.S. men's team like that I was able to watch. Like other than that, they don't make it. They don't make it.
No.
They get
Was it
Yeah.
the one?
kicked out.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah,
too,
it was the
'cause
only-
last one.
Yeah, the last
for a
one they were
while.
in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm like,
And the women be pushing, so
yeah. I was like, cause
Time is a guarantee that they're going.
yeah.
and so like when they get handpicked and stuff for like the World Cup, like how does that work? Like is it almost the same thing? Like I'm curious if you know. No.
Well, so yeah, they just gonna pick like professional players, obviously.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So it's like the coach and just the staff, like whatever, like the scouting staff,
Yeah.
just kind of looks at games and some of the coaches, like I know with like men's national team, say like the German coach will go to like England league to watch like some of the German guys play in their own league.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, how does this guy fit and stuff like that. So they'll really go and do like scouting in game. They'll show them in the stands and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So it's cool like that. They just kind of, so it's really down to the coach and the scouting department who fits best to help them to ultimately like win tournaments and win like the World Cup and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh dang.
So have you been like traveling and stuff, like playing soccer now and stuff, like around the world?
Yeah, travel. Not really around the world. I haven't been to Europe and stuff yet. I want to soon. But like all around the U.S.
You've been
everywhere. I was just out in Georgia and
Dang.
New Jersey. But I've been to like pretty much like every state.
What?
Give or take a few. But yeah, just for soccer, just because it's traveling everywhere.
Bro, and you like 20 years old?
Yeah.
Traveling?
Yeah,
That's
traveling.
like a dream for
That's
every...
That's what's
Yeah.
crazy.
Athlete, yeah.
Soccer, like traveling, really. It just showed me different stuff. And I
You see, like, the
travel,
different
every
cultures
weekend.
and-
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Can't even tell you how many times I've been to like Cali just for the weekend, just for games and stuff like that. So
I know when I first seen you, I know it's a little off topic. I asked you, were you full black? Because I was like, are you fully black? Like, because
Man,
most
that's a little disrespectful.
full black
I
doesn't
get that
play
more.
soccer. So I was like, are you fully? But he was like, yeah, I'm full. I was like,
I had to ask him the same question.
I get it.
Because light skin, I was like, look, are you mixed? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, most light
Yeah, I
skin
thought you were like
mixed.
Puerto Rican or
I get
Dominican.
Dominican all
Dominican,
the
yeah.
time. Dominican is one everybody thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just both my parents are black. They're just both light skinned.
Okay. Yeah, that's,
I don't even really know where the white is. Like in the family, it just somehow appeared.
yeah, it's somewhere down the line. You can't even remember it. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. So then, would you say like parents and stuff, like, would you say they was pretty hard on you to get to where you were at now, or was it mostly like self motivation? 'Cause-
honestly, no,
yeah.
they weren't that hard on me. Like my dad would always get on me. He'd always tell me like, hey, like if you're not working hard enough, like he'd always be the
Reminds
first one
you
to
pretty
call me,
much.
call me out if
Yeah.
I wasn't working hard enough. He'd be the first one to remind me. He'd be like, hey, like this pro, what do you think they was doing? So that was always helpful to keep that in my mind and really push myself. And then it got to a point to where it was really just on me,
Yeah.
to where I had to decide like, okay, am I gonna put in this work to really get to the next level, really invest in myself,
Yeah.
or am I going?
Did you ever doubt it?
Just give it up. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. It's hard not to.
Yeah.
You always gonna have slumps in your career and stuff like that. So.
Would you say like those things were pretty like were pretty like hard on your mental? Like your mental health?
Most definitely. Like anything that's gonna give you a lot of stress, playing, especially when stuff's not going well, it's definitely gonna get to you. It's just kind of me thinking about whenever that would happen, just coming out stronger.
Yeah.
How I was gonna get through this and being just really kind of knowing that I'm privileged and being in that spot. So when stuff gets tough and stuff got down like that, I'd always know, like, you know, I'm stronger than this. I can really, can really get out of this. So.
Okay. Yeah. Because, like, I know, like, for example, like, there's not a lot of, like people don't really explain, like, the things that they're going through. So, like, you know, some of the stuff that you were going through while you were on the journey, like, was it, like, tough to, like, you know, keep, like, nah, I'm good, Dad. Like, I'm good, Mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no,
to not really, like, go to them and be like, hey, like, I'm struggling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
and I'm the kind of person who I really don't like to go to them and do that. Like, I'd rather handle it on my own.
Mhm.
Like, when I get into one of those slumps or I'm not feeling like myself or something like that, it's just not going well. I like to just kind of take it on my own. I get real distant from everybody. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
how you
just
deal
kinda
with it. Yeah.
take it to myself, really just lock it in and then handle it myself.
Yeah.
I like that more.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, because I know, for example, like, we've all been through, like, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, because all being athletes.
yeah.
Is,
But it's hard for some at least, like myself. Like, I'm one of those people. I ask for help. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was going through whatever I was going through, like, I went and I asked for help. Like, hey, y'all got a counselor? You know what I'm saying? Like, do we have a sports counselor? You know, but that's not common. There's a lot of people that were going through things that, like, they weren't asking for that help. You know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of wondering, like, you know, your opinion on, like, do you feel like that's, like, I don't know, in a black and brown community, you think that's, like, the hardest?
Almost definitely, yeah, because you think about it, it's like showing, at least for men, like, showing your emotions is frowned upon. It's, like, seen as, like, feminine.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of dudes will just stay away from it. And that's what makes it hard, because it's like when you got that connotation on things, it's just going to be negative.
Yeah.
So they're not going to want to do it.
Yeah.
So most definitely, I don't know, for me, I'm not the type of guy that really shows emotion like that. I don't really cry like that. Nothing like that. I think I couldn't even tell you the last time I cried.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know if it's how I was raised, like, raised to be tough like that. Like, it's four dudes in my family, like, it's 4 boys, so it's like, it's probably just like how I was raised, but I'm curious to see, like, somebody with more women in their family, how they kind of think about that.
Yeah. But think about it. Is it the women? like, and this is not just for him. I'm talking about it, all of us. Like, is it just having, like, more women in the house to go, hey, you can cry? Or is it just sitting there being like, hey, man, get it out? Like, you know what I'm saying? Handle your business, like, get it out, and then
jump right back to it.
And then, you know, like, but don't sit there too long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, those types of things I feel like are, like, nah, don't cry at all, because, like, hey, man, you ain't no sucker, you ain't no this, that. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, why do y'all, like, this is not just for him, too. Like, why do y'all feel that? Like, in black and brown communities, like, and in, like, male-dominant households, like, sometimes, like, those things are, like, oh, man, you crying? What you crying for? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it necessarily has to do with gender. I think it just has to do with how you're raised. Because I've seen some, like, I have a mom in California.
Right.
Like, another mom. I call her mom. And she's kind of like how a male father would be, like, don't be crying, all that stuff. That's, like, weak.
Right.
Which is not bad, but, like, I think it's just how you're raised.
Right.
Because, I mean, I see that in women, too, so.
So do you think that's a parent thing?
A parent thing?
Yeah. Like,
because
you think that's, like,
I feel like some parents don't want to see their kid in that mental state, like how maybe they used to be. So it's like they want to show that they're strong for their kid. So, you know, it kind of forces, they want to, like, tell them, like, yo, be strong. But it's not that easy, to be honest with you, because regardless, any kid is going to go through that.
Yeah.
They figure it on their own, like he was saying,
Yeah.
you figure it on your own, but you don't tell your parents.
Yeah.
You got to hide that emotion in front of your parents, and then when you go somewhere else, maybe you're showing it with yourself. Or
And that's the sad. You said hide
it's
that
sad.
emotion.
It's sad.
And for me growing up, my dad was telling me, like, it was like to the point where it was like, why the fuck you crying? Stop fucking crying. Like,
Yeah.
and I'll really be like going through some shit, and he'll just be like, stop fucking crying. Like,
Yeah.
and I literally, like, at a certain age, I shut off crying for shit. Like, even like if I go to like funerals or anything, like sometimes I'll be like, damn, I don't know how to cry.
Yeah.
Right.
Like something good will happen, like even happy tears.
Yeah.
Like I've shut that emotion off. Like even with my wife, like certain she would always tell me like, you don't show emotions. I'm like, I do show emotions, I just don't cry.
Yeah.
And like I'm learning today, like it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
It's okay to like share your emotions. Like yesterday I went to one of my athletes going away. He's going to the Navy.
Okay.
Trained him for 2 years. Great kid. Honestly, I think he was a sleeper. Like college should have offered him. Like even the Navy or the Army should have gave him an offer, like a scholarship offer, just because he's a hard worker. He's a great athlete.
Yeah.
But for the first time, I spoke in front of everybody, and I teared up a little bit, and I was just like expressing that emotion, like because me and my wife were sitting and talking about my emotions and how I need to start. You know, sharing them with people and things like that. Because I'm like, I am getting older, and I feel like I've been keeping a side of me that's probably great, like some people need to see.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just recently started, like, you know, trying to discover that part of myself. But growing up in Compton, California, you kind of, you can't really cry. Like,
I'm about to
somebody
say,
see
in
you,
certain areas, you can't do that because...
some people see you cry, it's like, you soft as fuck. Like, you low-key would get beat up. Like if somebody catch you in that state, and it's like the environment and your household, like where you're at, you know, some people are probably able to express themselves freely and, you know, let that emotion out. But where I'm from and growing up in the household I grew up in, that wasn't really acceptable.
So how do you like approach it now with with your parenting?
With my parenting, I mean, I do have my son. I had 3 daughters first, and then I had my son. So even having a son now, like, I want him to be able to express himself as he gets older.
And dog, does he express himself?
Man.
When he don't get a snack, all right, that man will cry.
Bro, I remember asking, I was like, because it smelled like poop. I was like, did you poop? He was like, no. I was like, oh, okay.
Maya does the same thing.
I was like, okay.
I'm like,
that's a simple question.
Maya for sure, she's a character.
And they're young now, so I want them to still, as they get older, be able to express that. And my oldest daughter, she's 9. She's able to express herself more now and talk to me more now. More like, I want to say, I'm not as mean as I used to be. Like, it was a huge transition for me becoming a parent. Like, because I was almost to the point I was trying to parent like the way I was parent. I'm like, nah, this ain't right. Like, if she needs to cry, she needs to express herself. We need to let her do that. You know, instead of saying like, why you crying? Like, stop crying. It's not gonna help anything, because that's what I was taught. Yeah. Like, crying ain't gonna help shit. While you're crying, like, get over it. And it's like, that's not healthy. Like,
I feel like a lot of people are
let out your emotions and be free.
Well, because I was recently experiencing like not dealing with, but like I was recently kind of training a kid that let out his emotions. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I was like, and in the middle,
I know what you're talking about too.
So in the middle of the workout, like, he started crying, and I was like, what are you, why are you crying? Like, this is football. Like, we not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like when it comes to sports and things that we put our heart into, but mind you, he's only 7. I was like, never played the sport before in his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I told him, hey man, it's gonna be hard, but you can't feel sorry for yourself. Like, and those were just the things. As far as when it comes to sports, like, when people are actually going through something, that's totally different. Like, but sitting there expressing to me, I kind of was just looking at it. I'm like, why are you? This is football. Like, why is it? But I understand. Like, I had to take a step back and just be like, all right, man, get it out. Like, get it out. But let's get back to it. Yeah. I was like, because I feel like those are the things that like make us who we are today. Like some of the things that we went through, like, and we cried about. Like, for example, like, shoot, I've cried about many things. Like, I think when I was younger, that's the way I expressed my frustration. Like, I think every kid has been through that. Like, you're frustrated about something, you just don't know what to do. You just start, like, tearing up. I was like, yeah, like, and just expressing those emotions and those things. And I think my parents, I wouldn't really say they didn't tell me not to, but for certain things, they told me, stop crying. Like, if we were going through something, I think I had some pretty good parents to, like, hey, if you need to talk about something, you can talk about it. It just was very hard. I think now that I'm older, I was like, my parents now, I can go to them and talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Like for certain things. But like when we were younger, man, like I'm just speak for myself. I couldn't, like, there's some things I couldn't tell them, like, or talk to them about. Like, it just, I don't know. It didn't make it. They didn't make it easy. Like, it's like the first reaction. Like their first reaction is
When you
everything.
tell them something, it's
When
like,
you tell them
yeah.
something, like for example, how they dealt with women, like women that came into our life, like certain things that we just we can't tell them. They gonna think it's a joke, or they gonna tell us like no, like, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, like I think for some things it's like circumstance, like mainly, you know what I'm saying, like in what household and what area and what environment you grow up in, like it definitely speaks, because those are the things that you're gonna take in as a little kid, even if you think, like, even if you don't know, those are the things. Oh, I remember my dad, he taught me how to do that. Like I even said, like, man, I'm a the corporal punishment thing.
Mhm.
Like, you know how that is like a thing. Like everybody sees that as child abuse now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that back then, it wasn't used that way.
Yeah.
Mhm. It
But
was
there's
not.
like, in recent studies, there's no like evidence that shows that that's actually improved anybody's like.
That shit helped me out.
But that's what I'm saying. But like,
Kept me out of trouble.
Like,
but I'm just saying, there's science and stuff.
Not
is
saying I
coming
like
out.
the ass whoopings, but
exactly,
I'm not trying to say I liked it.
but you look back on it.
Yeah.
I'm love
Exactly.
You're like,
low key.
you know what?
'Cause-
I'm kind of glad I got my ass
Exactly.
beat.
Yeah, because low key, if I didn't like I said, growing up in Compton, like you can get into some shit real fast.
Yeah.
And my dad will beat our ass, like, to
No,
make
that
sure, like,
kinda helps you.
I don't
Yeah.
want to fuck up, because then I'm gonna have to go home and get that ass beat.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like I'd rather just do the right thing and not, because he gonna find out one way or another.
Yeah, and they always
Yo,
do.
You gonna find
And they
out.
always do. Oh my gosh, bro. They always do. I don't know how my dad's found out about a couple of things, like from school and stuff. Like it just works. Like you try to hide an assignment, they send notes home to your parents or email. Hey man, I got this email where you didn't show me this. Like, gosh, you
And
got
that's,
me.
that's the thing with some dudes who don't grow up with a father. Like, you had that mom,
Yeah.
and some moms had to be the dad and get
Right.
them that ass beaten. But as a male gets older, that ass beating ain't the same as getting it from your father. So
Yeah.
that's
Or
why,
they had
like,
to
where I'm
be.
from, a lot of
Yeah.
dudes who didn't have their fathers are the ones who ended up,
Yeah.
you know, in prison, in jail, in the streets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Or they had to do the toughness, like, hey, you good? Like, why are you crying? You know, like we don't cry. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the tough part. Like they had to be like, all right, like we good.
and yeah, you do have to have that balance between like when to cry or when not to. Like sometimes you really don't need to be crying as a
That's
a
as
fact.
a man. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
seriously, like
Certain things, yeah.
you shouldn't be crying about.
Like,
So,
you good, man. Like don't stress over it. Don't worry about it. Like, you know, obviously toys and stuff like kids shouldn't be crying about, but you know, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it is upbringing, circumstances, because you know those things, they make you tough, man. I can't lie. Like
No, it does.
yeah, some of that stuff like we grew up around, we've seen, and it's just like, dang, like, you know, there's a lot of parents that don't care. I was like, you know,
They still don't care.
yeah.
Some
So
of
like I'm like, yo, it's interesting. Like I had, like I look back at it now. My dad actually showed up to, like, if we were messing around in school, he'd take off work, show up to our classes. Like,
Same.
like he showed up. Like, I kid you not. I wasn't the one that messed
sit in the
around.
classroom.
Dude, he
Bro.
was sitting in the class. He was sitting in the classroom. He sat in one of my classes, I think, once, and that's because, like, I was messing around too much. Like, I was playing around too much to the point where he just had it. He's like, I'm gonna show it, and it, like, of course, the kids, they gonna laugh at you. They gonna think it's embarrassing, but it's like he cared.
See, that would have made me cry.
But he cared, you know what I'm saying? Like, I look back, I'm like, there's not a lot of parents, they don't, all right, you messing up in school, there's some bad kids that they messed around in school, and they kept messing up, and you're like, huh.
I just heard a recent story where a kid, because it was like a bunch of teachers talking about kids at school,
Yeah.
and I guess the kid had like a vape pen or something, and they got suspended or whatever.
Right.
And the father came and was like, my daughter wants to know if she can get her vape pen back. Him as the father asks, like, can she get her shit back?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Instead of saying, like, she don't need to be having that.
Yeah.
He asked for it back. I was like, the hell is going on in that house? Like,
Yeah,
you just,
yeah.
like your daughter just,
It's like weak.
yeah, like you just
That's
like,
weak mentality.
yeah. I'm like, you just letting your daughter do
I
that.
feel like
and
as a
it's not.
parent, you gotta be stronger than that. And
Yeah.
the way you like, he asked, like, he could just be like, "Yo, can I get it back?"
Yeah, you say, can
I
my
feel like
daughter
some
do
parents
that?
are like
Lesson with it or
scared
something.
to like
Parent.
parent because they don't want their kid to
They want to be
hate them
friends
or-
with them.
Yeah.
Huh?
They want to be friends
I
with
want to
them.
be friends
Yeah.
with their kids.
which is
instead of
it's
being
not
their
wrong,
parent.
but
No, I've seen.
there's a
that.
certain line that you have to set.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
your
for
kids.
sure. Like me being a
Yeah.
parent, like I have that
But,
balance of being a parent and being a
Yeah.
friend.
Right.
Like, and I always tell my kids, I'm like,
Right.
I'm not your friend. I'm your father. Like,
yeah,
yes, we can have conversations. Yes, you can tell me things, but I'm your father at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, make sure you know what it is.
yeah.
Right.
And I
So-
didn't get that. I didn't get that concept when I was younger because I was like, wait, what? And when my mom and dad had told me that, I was almost like that was a letdown almost. I was like, wait, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, yo, no, I'm being so serious. I was like, yo, wait, y'all not my friends. Like, I thought we was tight. You know what I'm saying? I'm being serious. Like, that almost.
That man was sitting there really thinking about it, like, what?
Yeah, like I
Not
was
my friend.
lost. Yeah, and then that one, like growing up now, I'm like, all right, I get it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when I was younger, like I used to think, like I kid you not, my parents they were strict. Like they were strict. They were pretty. Like they were the give and take. Like you show that you can trust. Like you know what I'm saying, and they'll give. And then like they show they can't cut it off. And there was some. Like times where my dad, he didn't like in the house, in his own, like, he didn't like when people came to the house, man, shut up. Like, he didn't like the word shut up. I was like, so anytime I came in, I was like, hey, don't say shut up in my house. Like, before the guys came in, because I know most of them, they like to curse. They like to, because the houses they go over, that's what they do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I had to let them know, look, we can have fun, we could chill. I was like, just don't say shut up. My dad don't
I
like that.
remember that.
'Cause then-
We don't do
I
that
remember
word
that.
either. We don't
'Cause-
do that word either.
'cause
Because it
my-
does sound like
Shut
you telling
up?
somebody, shut up. Like, yo, shut up. Like,
Yeah.
you like, sound a little disrespectful, man. Don't do it.
Yeah, so my
Like-
dad cut that off real quick, and he made sure. So, and anytime any of the guys wanted to come over, that y'all can't say shut up at your house. I don't want to go over. Like what?
Yeah.
I was like, what? It's just my dad. That's how my dad was known. That's the rule. Like that was the unknown rule because I mean, shoot, it was interesting. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he remembers those things, man. There's some times in my it just has a bunch of stories, man.
But it's cool
just-
though, cause your parents literally would treat like all your friends and me like we were their kid too.
Yeah, yeah,
So they taught me a lot too,
yeah,
like
Yeah.
teaching me how to be as a kid,
yeah,
respect and everything else.
yeah.
So
I mean, my uncle said it was like you're trying to raise an adult. Like eventually, your child
Yeah.
is going to become an adult. So that's
Yeah.
what you're preparing them for.
Yeah.
It's just like when you go to high school or college, like you're preparing for something. So as a parent, you're preparing your kid to live on their own
Yeah.
and behave on their own. Because like we got prisons, we got different places. You don't want your kid to end up there. So you're preparing them for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
So you have to have boundaries, teach them things early. When they're born, they're a seed. They don't know nothing. They only know what they see,
Yeah.
what they're taught. So,
Yeah.
like, even going to daycare, whatever they learn at that daycare, best believe they're going to bring it back home. You're going to be like, where you
Yeah.
get that from?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw him do it at school, or I saw him do it at a daycare.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to make sure, like, each environment that you put your kid in and what you're doing is healthy for them. And,
Yeah.
always check it out. Like, all right, what my kid getting into? Like,
Yeah.
going to an academy, going to a soccer club, like making sure that you put them in the right environment
Yeah.
that fits your parenting.
Yeah.
So
Cause there's some like even with the friends, like there's some friends my mom and dad like, nah, you ain't bringing them over.
gotta yeah. You
And
gotta
I was
manage
like-
all of that.
I was like, oh
Sounds
snap.
like you don't even want to.
And it might hurt.
Yeah.
It might hurt your kid, but it's like, hey, they're not good for you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want you hanging around them. So
But it's crazy. Like I'm like, all right. Like there's some dudes that I brought around or hung around. Like most of my friends, they doing fine right now. But like my brother's friend, like some of my brother's friends, they're a little different. That was a different story. Like Khalil was one of those people. He was around it, but wasn't influenced by it. Like he was just around it. Like
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like he was in those with the knuckleheads or whatever. But like. He
Well,
didn't do any. He
that's-
didn't partake in any of that stuff. Like, oh, I gotta go home early, or whatever it was. Like, like it was interesting how that worked, and I was like, dang, like I took it. I don't know. I guess I took that side a little literally because I made sure like all my friends like they was doing. So we had common interests. I was like, like we were trying to succeed or whatever. Like you get the, yeah. I mean, shoot.
It's probably how much you hang around somebody too. Like I had
Yeah.
friends who was full-fledged gangbangers. And I had people who was playing on football teams. Like, who am I hanging around the most?
Yeah.
You hang around somebody enough, you're gonna find yourself doing something you ain't supposed to do.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think it's like managing that time with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm in a school setting, we cool, we can hang out. After school, y'all doing? I'm not going over there. Like I know what y'all finna do over there. So,
Yeah.
or they be like, hey, let's go do this. Nah, bro. That's like I got practice.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what sports helps with too. Like you got something to do. Like if you ain't playing the sport or something, like you got so much free time on your hand. You're like, hey, let's go rob this store. All right, I ain't doing nothing. Let's go.
Yeah, I find that really like good to do because like he was saying, he went to that soccer academy and he just surrounded himself around nothing but athletes. So it forces you to like if you see your friend like working out or something like that. Oh, I want to work out too.
Yeah.
So like I think that's really good.
Did you have that like, man, I'm trying to be the best? Like, did you have that like mentality when you was there?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Like you was trying to outplay.
I think everybody did. Yeah. I mean, cause that was the only thing. Like that's talking about mental health with that. Like a lot of people struggling because it's like you're not playing. Like you're there for soccer. It was boring. Like there's nothing up there to do other than soccer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when soccer's not going well, like I was saying, like it's hard to really get yourself out of that.
Stay focused. Type of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Like you're not playing. Like so it's like, bro, you're just going to school down there, living in a boring place with all dudes to not play.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that. So it's just finding that line, and so it's like you got to be the best.
Yeah.
Right.
So that kind of helped me too. It's like because when I first got there, I wasn't starting. I was kind of playing like half the games. I was like an in and out starter, and then something switched, like kind of position change, and I just started starting. And but even that whole time I didn't lose sight. Like I need to be that guy. Like I was doing extra stuff, like all like that. Like I go out if I'm not playing, I'm not the type of person to just like be like start complaining and stuff. I'll be like, all right, there must be a reason for it. I'm gonna do everything that I can do in my power, and if that still don't work, then it is what it is. It's just not meant to be like it's like the coaches in the coach's eyes. I'm just not for him. I'm not the right fit. But if I know I'm doing my stuff, then at least I can tell myself like.
Yeah, you gave it your all.
Yeah, like I really put in all the work I needed to.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So
Yeah.
I'm big on getting to that.
Yeah.
So I have a question just for all of you guys. I just want to see how you guys would have handled it. So like, you know how we surround ourselves with people. Let's say you grew up with somebody like a brother that you look at to like a brother or whoever, and you guys go separate paths. Would it be hard for you guys to drop that friend, or would you still keep them?
What do you mean?
Like if they went down like a bad path and you're like on a successful path.
How long you talking to them? Are you still up to date with them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
would you guys completely drop that friend if you know that?
But there's some factors that play in that. Like how long you talking to that friend? Like are you talking about how long? Well, like you can know somebody like since they were young.
Yeah.
But when they take that separate route and like how often you talk to them shortens a lot.
I mean, I have a twin brother. Literally like born same day, all that. So, I played football. I was really heavy into football and sports. He, on the other hand, I don't know what he was doing after school, to be honest. Like, but as we was growing up, he went kind of more to the gang banging side of our family. Like, literally start hanging out with our cousin who gang bang and all that. Like, end up going to prison for 2 years for robbing stores and stuff, like doing strong arm robbery he had a fake gun. You don't want to have a real gun, but he was robbing stores and stuff and ended up doing 2 years in prison. While I'm in college, our communication was like here and there, and this is my twin brother. Like, like it's not even a friend. So we went separate ways. Like we see each other, we talk to each other here and there. Like I pop up on him, see how he doing. Sometimes his living situations like. There was one time I pulled up on a house that he was living in. He was like, "You can't." He was like, "I don't want you to come in here." I was like, "Why?" He was like, "They just be doing drugs and a bunch of shit." He was like, "I don't want you in here."
You see, and that's good.
He's 6 years younger than me, or 6 hours younger than me. So technically, I'm the older brother.
Yeah.
But we're the same age. But I was like the older brother as far as like how I was handling myself and like doing things. And he was like, "Yeah, I don't want you coming in here." I'm like, you know, why? Like, what is it different from where we grew up and like the stuff that I've already seen before? He was like, "I just don't want you coming in here." Like, but just knowing his lifestyle, I'm like, why are you living here then? Like, if you don't want me in here, why are you living here? And that was just like, we went separate ways. Like, I'm going to college and going to my dorms and stuff like that while he's selling drugs or whatever, trying to get money any way he can.
Yeah.
He's doing better now. Like, he has his own business. He does the shoe cleaning business. And he sells the products and stuff like that. So he's doing good now after him going to prison and all that. Like, he has his own kids, you know, doing well. He lives in Vegas, so, you know, he learned from his mistakes. But I always kept in communication with him just to see how he was doing, see, you know, if he's going to change his life. Like,
yeah, see, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, some people, when they have those type of bonds, whatever, they completely shut that person out. They shut them out of their life.
Well,
and like
okay, so like I said,
because I would have handled the same way. Like I have some friends that, you know, went down the wrong path, and like you said, communicating, just little things like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
And they know like that you're not part of that lifestyle or whatever.
Yeah.
So they, like you said, he told you not to go into that room or whatever. So.
Although, yeah, so, like, when you talk to them and they friendship, like, and if it was, like, if that was your boy, you had respect for him, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was a different type of respect. Like, obviously, when you see him or when you talk to him, like, it's not going to change. Like, man, how you doing, man? You good? Like, dog, like, you know, like, it's been a minute, you know what I'm saying? And I'm one of those people, like, for example, like, there was a friend that had reached out to me, you know, like, we had a fallout or whatever, but, like, I like, up until that point, like, there was a lot of things in my life that it didn't, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't thinking, like, I wasn't even thinking about it, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So those some things, like, everybody's living life, you know? Like, there's a lot of things in life that people, like, don't realize. Like, I tell people all the time, I'm like, I'm not even going to hold you for living life. Like, life is kicking my butt, too, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely giving my butt, like, I'm, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, man, you know, like, to the point where it's hard to keep up with people. And if, you know, they're living life, too, it's going to be hard for them to reach out to you. I was like, but you can't, like, for the people out there, like, don't take it personal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing. If you're one of those people that don't hold on to that, and, he don't mess with me. Like, nah, he's just probably living like he's not even thinking about it. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things that people are doing that they don't even think, or that they know that they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just living life. So, you know, that for me at least, that's what it was, or that's what it still is. Like, I'm living life, and if I see you, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna say what's up. I'm gonna reach out over on social media, like, hey, you good? Like, how you been? You know what I'm saying? If I had that initial respect, but, you know, there's some things, like, where they take the wrong path, and, you know, you've tried the talks, you've tried the, you know what I'm saying, the things, and, you know, you're not going to give up on them, but at a certain point, it's got to be them. Like, you can't waste that energy no more, you know what I'm saying? It's got to be, all right, now we going to see, we going to wait, like, we going to give him that. On their own, pretty much? We going to give them that opportunity to reach out to, you know what I'm saying, to reach out the other way. Okay. You know, so that's where I'm going with it, you know, because like, I do have some of those friends right now. Like, some of those friends that are kind of, like, steering in a different direction than I'm steering. I'm not even saying in the wrong path, just in a different direction. Right. I was like, and then, you know, like, it's going to be up to them. I'll reach out to them, see how they doing, you know, but after a while, it's going to be like, all right, you know, then I'm going to give them a chance and see if, you know, I'm in their head, like, as much as, you know what I'm saying? So, that's all. That's what I would say, like, for myself, at least. Like, I'm going to make sure, like,
Yeah. I mean, I always kept in touch with, you know, all my family. Like I said, I was born and raised out, like, I had family from Park Village Crip, family from Inglewood families. Like, I know they full-fledged game makers. Like, I'm not going to not talk to you or not hang out with you. Yeah. Maybe in certain environments, I might not hang out with you in, like, I'm not finna go to no hood party. Like, that ain't happening, bro. Yeah. It's like, I don't, like, even though I'm like, I know, actually, I've been to a lot, but I got to a certain age where I'm like, I'm not messing with some of these parties and some of these environments because, you know, they can get shot up at any time. I got kids now. Yeah. I'm not doing it. Like, I mean, I hung out with my cousin. He just recently passed when he was actually on a run. the last time I hung out with him, he was on the run from the police.
Really?
We had hung out, and my wife was like, "Make sure you safe." She was like texting me. I was like, "I'm good." Like,
Yeah.
I was like, "It's cool. Like, I'm good." We went to some spot at the beach, and actually we was hanging out, and he was like, "Yo, we gotta go." I was like, "Why?" He was like, "This dude over here." He was like, "We got tricked for each other." I was like, "What you mean?" He was like, if we'll shoot each other on sight. I was like, "Bro, do you realize where we at?" I was like, "You see all these people?" He was like, "They don't care."
Oh,
He was like,
wow.
"We gotta go." And I was like, "All right, let's go." So, and that was my cousin. So, I kind of put myself at risk, but
Yeah.
I didn't not knowing now like that was the last time I was gonna hang out with him. So, I took that risk to hang out with him because that's my family. Like I knew his situation. Like it is what it is. Like. And I know he was like, I didn't bring my strap because I'm with you. Like, I thought I was, we could be good. I'm safe with you. Because, I'm not involved in nothing. Like, I don't involve myself in that stuff. So, but yeah, so I ain't never not hung out with him or not talked to him because of his lifestyle.
Yeah.
So, but,
And there are
sometimes
some,
you just got some of them friends that.
Because even with family, that's the same thing. Like, even with family members, like, there's some cousins that used to be able to hang out with, but then you start to realize, all right, it was mainly because our parents got us together.
Yeah.
And then as you grow up and as you like, okay, then we hang out maybe once or twice, and then you start to hit them up, ask them, hey, can you hang? Yeah, I could kick it. Then you hit them up again, then no answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things where it's like, all right, they don't follow through with plans, or they're living life, or they take one thing like just too seriously, and they're like it's just I don't know, it's just different. Like it's just like different in their head, it's different in your head, and you guys never get a chance to really talk about what it is that either happened or what you're going through. Like you never get those
about emotions too.
Yeah.
Like that was something that you really didn't talk to him about. That like he lost his father at an early age. He got out of actually didn't have his father his whole life, and I think we was in the car. And I had mentioned his dad, and I had looked at his face and kind of just went blank. Yeah. Like, I could tell he was thinking about it, but he didn't want to express that emotion because it shows weakness, it shows, and that's just, how we grew up. We don't really speak about it. We just sit and think. Like, we just go empty and we just think about it like, do I cry? Do I just, you just sit there. Yeah. Going back to the, sharing the emotions and stuff. Like, as men, we don't really share our emotions, even just if it's just us two sitting here. Like, if you ask me a certain question, I'm gonna just blank out. Like, I'm not gonna express the emotion. I'm gonna just keep it in and be like, it just pass by. Like, that happened.
I feel like sometimes it's good to be like that because when you show around certain people, some people can use it against you, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah. Depending on who you're around.
That's why I think it's good. Some of our parents raise us like that, like like show emotion.
Showing your what is it called? Taking my
and
but that all goes into watching somebody's character. Like,
and you gotta know the boundary.
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta know the boundary of when to cry and who to cry around.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about like if we was like, let's just say like in private settings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was with my cousin.
Things.
Like he trusts me. Like out of even a lot of my family was like, he always spoke, good about Ryan and, what he's doing in life, and he's proud of him, and he really trusts him and all that. So me and him, he could have expressed the emotion to me, but that's not something we was taught to do. Yeah. I had mentioned his dad. He could have opened up about it and be like, yo, I miss him. But he didn't want to say none of that. He just kind of, left it there on the table, like, and we just passed by it and just kept talking about something. Went on to the next subject.
Right.
So, and I knew he wanted to say something, but we wasn't taught to express that emotion.
Yeah. I feel like if it's not taught when you're young too, like it's just lost after, because it's even harder to show it or relearn it. Like,
like I said, I like I thought I didn't know how to cry. I was
you
like,
got a
man,
big family, like cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
You keep up with like a lot of them.
Yeah, honestly, like pretty much everybody. We real connected in the family. We make sure like everybody's cool, especially on my dad's side.
Yeah, and that's also an example because my dad always kept up with his friends, his cousins. Like he kind of showed us how to reach out. Or what I'm saying, like he showed me like keep your friends close because when we had, and I'll never forget this, like my graduation for high school, like a lot of his friends, like they showed up. You know what I'm saying? Like they showed up, and those were the dudes that were there, like through like, hey man, you got a question? Call him. Like, you know, if you feel like you can't talk to me, go ahead, call. Like, my dad's best friend, my Nino Steve. You know, anytime I have questions, I can ask him, or like even a couple other my dad's friends. Like he makes sure. My mom was the same way. Like with her friends, like she kept up with. I think at one point, like a lot of her side of the family, like we were hanging around like my cousins and stuff. But like as they got older, like it was life that took over. You know what I'm saying? Like it's life that kind of gets not gets in the way, but like it makes it harder and a lot more time consuming to. Ah man, like I wasn't able to reach out to you, man. But you know, thank you for the call. Like there's a lot of times that just happened. You know, so I feel like family is just. I don't know. They're always gonna be family, and I let any of my cousins know like it's always gonna be love, like regardless of like what you guys are like. I don't take anything personal. Like I'm going through life too. Shoot, I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't always do those things, but like it's always gonna be like, oh, you know, I want to make sure y'all cool, y'all, you know, because shoot, without even knowing it, like when we were younger, like just coming to hang out with us, coming to talk to us, really like. Just helped our mentals, like, you know, gave us a different perspective, you know what I'm saying? Like, helped, like, in every type of way. So, it's different because I also got cousins that, like, they just got, you know, it's different perspectives in life. Like, you know, they're not doing the exact same things that we're doing. So there's not a whole lot of common ground. So, you know, like, when you get together, it's like, you know, oh, how you doing? Like, it's cool. And then we just start chatting. And, you know, you kind of got to get into those uncomfortable questions to really have a good conversation. So, I mean, but not saying we can't have them. But, yeah, those are some of the things I think, like, answering your question. Those are some of the things I think really play a factor in, you know, reaching out and stuff. So, you know, so, yeah, we can just go ahead and do. Yeah. But do you want to do your message?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you could close out and then after that I'll just say.
No, you do your message first and I'll close out.
All right, guys. I usually like saying a message to mainly the younger youth. But, I mean, if you could reach out to you, whoever it is, I appreciate that. So make sure you guys stay healthy mentally and physically. I hope you guys continue to grind at whatever your passion is. Stay focused. And just know that we all believe in you and we appreciate you guys' support. So.
Yep. And that's all for today, man. Say what you said. Closing out, man. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Once again, comment, like, subscribe, man. We appreciate y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed. Let us know if we could talk about anything else. You know, y'all want to hear. Y'all think y'all have questions. Just throw them down in the comments, man. But we appreciate y'all, man.
Yes,
hope y'all have a blessed one, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Thank you for coming out, Carter. We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
Hey, sir. All right, man. We out.
No lie, this life get harder, yeah, in time. Maya Angelou, still I rise. Wanna be my Benz or Bentley, but this Jag really stuck with me. It's hard, let me tell you, no lie.